When you talk about animals so far, we've talked about things that you and I, other than like putting worms on the end of fish hooks, really don't identify with. But I'm going to get to a group right now that I really am fond of because I love to eat them. Okay? And this is a group called the mollusks. Now, you probably have been to restaurants and not had the opportunity to say, I'd like a bowl of mollusks, please. But that's only because you didn't know that's what you were eating. You see, mollusks, or this group called the mollusca, are delicious. But that's not really what we're supposed to be talking about. We're supposed to be talking about why they're multicellular heterotrophs. But I still, almost think. So what makes these multicellular heterotrophs? Well, they hunt their food, okay? And they have many cells. And the way these cells have arranged themselves is very different. Because, to move, these things all have what is called a muscular foot. A muscular foot. So the best example of these I can give you is the snail, because all of you have seen a snail or a picture of a snail, and you know that a snail kind of glides along the surface on a foot-like structure. Okay? I'll tell you a little later what some other ones are. The other thing it has is something called a mantle. And the mantle is a very specialized structure that will allow it to either make a shell for most of the mollusks, but not all, but it certainly covers their internal organs. So, we've been talking about the various classifications of animals. What do these have? Well, clearly they have very advanced organs. Snails have very advanced organs. They're coelomic, okay? So they definitely have that cavity. They definitely have a mouth and an anus. We're certainly at that the 3-cell thick, the development pattern. So mollusks are very advanced too, okay? And they have systems that are very advanced also. So what are some other mollusks? Well, I told you one is a snail. It's slugs and things like that. Okay? And if you really care, they're called gastropods, which this is kind of cool because I'll tell you what that means. Gastropod. Stomach foot, gastropod. And that means its stomach is down in its foot. That's cool. But this next one's even cooler. Cephalopods. Footheads. Head cephalopod. Draw one of those for you. See if you can recognize what this is. I'm using a big space. All right. Yell it out as soon as you recognize what this is. Got it yet? Okay, let me add more. All right, here. Like that. Like so. And it's got 8 of these things. And it's got... Good! It's a squid! Exactly! All right. Squid and octopi are mollusks too. All right. Now, where's their mantle? Well, did you know squids don't have a shell, although they have this kind of plastic-looking thing on the inside? Okay, but squid and octopi are also mollusks. Their foot has been modified literally into a head. I mean, these things, this is a foothead, cephalopod, huh? And the other one is the clam, all right? We call those bivalves. And just like the other organisms that are mollusks, they have complex organs. Now, clams generally don't swim around like squid do and catch food. How are they heterotrophic? Well, clams, and they don't crawl around much like snails do to catch their food. Clams are what we call filter feeders. They literally sit down at the bottom, suck the water in, and hope there's some food in it. And then they put that into their digestive system. Mollusks. So, back to this. What's so great about mollusks? Well, not only are they amazingly diverse, and not only do they all have some structures in common, but think about it, what's better than a good plate of calamari, huh? Mollusks, delicious.
Annelids, or segmented worms.